Hello everyone, my name is Ph.D. I'm going to share with you a software that you can use to transcribe, analyze your data, and also present your findings. The software is called Reduct, and I'm going to show you step by step how to use it to transcribe your audio or video and also analyze your data and then present your findings. So let's go and let me show you how you can use the software to do that. So to use Redact, you first have to sign up and log in and click on create a project. You give a name to the project. You can also give a description, but it's not required. So you can just give the name for the project. You click on create. Then you can go to new recording and click on upload from computer. So it will take a few minutes for everything to be uploaded and also transcribed. So as you can see here, it is transcribing the audio I've uploaded. This is an article I wrote about qualitative research. Now you have to listen to the audio and make sure that everything is fine and in terms of the transcript. So I'm listening to the audio. You can see that I didn't bring quotation marks before high. So I select high and right click on it and go to correct transcript. Then I can bring a quotation mark there and then click on save. So whenever you want to make the correction, you always have to select the place that you want to make a correction and then you right click. So now I'm looking for the last place, so I can select the place that I want to put the quotation marks, the end of the quotation. I think it's after qualitative analysis, so I select that place and then I click on it to give me this option and click on correct transcript and can correct it and save. So now if you finish going through the transcript, then you can start the coding process. You select the information that is significant and you can go to add tags. So the qualitative analysis is all about coding. You are identifying significant information and you assign a label to it. So now I'm assigning a tag or a code to this significant information. I'm looking for an element of a very good blog post that you posted on social media. I introduced the topic by starting with a question. So now you can see that I'm selecting the beginning of the story. It's important to code. You first have to think about your research question before you select. So when you select, you click on add tag and then you can type a phrase that can be in between 2 to 5 words representing the significant information that you have selected. So qualitative analysis is all about selecting significant information and also assign labels, right? So with the research question in mind, you select what is significant and then you click on add tags. And this is where you come up with a phrase that best represents the information that you have selected. So now I am typing a phrase that I think best represents the significant information I have highlighted or selected. So I type contacted by a publishing company. I look for another significant information. So as I said, this is an article that I wrote and I first introduced the topic and tell the story, and I'm now identifying the elements of a very good post. The third thing that I identify is bringing life to the story. When you are telling a story, you have to make sure that there's dialogue, quoting some of the characters. I think it helps to bring life to the story. It helps people to relate to the story. That's what I did here. So the story, in this story, I'm trying to express the reaction of the main character, that is me, For this example, my question is, what makes a good blog post, or what makes a good post? I posted this on LinkedIn, and I just want to share with you some of the components of this article so that you can also learn how to make a very good article. So the good article is always start with a very good story and try to connect the story to the significant information or the main idea that you want to share with people. And the story helps you to connect. Everybody likes stories, and when you start with a story, you connect with people and also help you to present your main idea in such a way that people will love and remember what you provided. So as you can see here, I'm still identifying significant information and then assign labels to them. That's called coding. I see coding as in your data. It's going to be difficult to just present everything to your audience. So you are going through the data with the research question in mind and identifying information that is significant and then assigning labels to them. And that's what I'm doing now. Still doing the coding, so you can see here that I selected why am I telling you this. The code that I use is connecting the story. It's supposed to be the story, connecting the story to the message. You can see here that when you tell a story, you have to connect it to the message. And how do you connect to the message? By using a question like, what am I telling you this? So that people will know that you are about to give your message. You are prompting them that I've ended my story and this is a message for you. So when you are coding, sometimes you are thinking about the best way of coming up with a phrase that will best represent the significant information. You may change your mind as you are typing, so you have to go back. At the end of the day, you want to come up with something that best represents what you have selected. And so that's what I'm doing here. Thinking about what the information is, thinking about the research question I want to address, and thinking about the best phrase to represent that information, at the same time helping you to address your research question that you have. In this article, I was talking about qualitative research. What is qualitative research? I started with a story and then connected a story to the main idea and then share what research is all about, and then I talk about what makes qualitative research different from other forms of research. You see here that I keep on changing the code. That's the experience of doing qualitative analysis. You always have to think about what is the best code, right? Now I'm saying that making a general statement, that is the main information representing the significant information I've selected. This software is powered by artificial intelligence. So sometimes when you select the information here, significant information, the system suggests a code for you. But you always have to think about, is this code that the system selecting best represent the information that you have selected from the data? And also, does it address the research question that you have? So always have to think about this when you are doing the coding. You are not just making general codes. You are always want to think about your research question. So coding can also be seen as generating containers and putting stuff inside. So the tags could be seen as containers, and then when you select significant information, you can drop that into the various containers that you have. You can create a container and then drop the significant information. So in this case, you select significant information, create a container like what I have here, addressing the research question. When you finish, it means that the significant information has been dropped into that container that you have created. So if you want to see all the tags, you can click on the hashtag. Now you can see all the tags that you have created. You can see here that I've created 14 tags and then 15 relevant information that has been selected. You can do many things here. You can put the tags into groups that you want, especially if you want to categorize the codes that you have here into categories and themes, right? So I see the codes here or the tags here as containers, and when you click on it, you can see what is in the container. The interesting thing is that you are looking at the transcript at the same time watching the video and listening to it. That makes this software very interesting. The browser that I first use is Mozilla, and I shifted it to Microsoft Edge because Majura was creating a few problems for me. So you can see here that I'm categorizing the code, right? So you could easily create a new tag group, and then you can drag and drop your information to the new tag group. As you can see here, transferring some of the tag from the one on top to down, and you can also name your tag. So I can see that the first one I type telling a story, you can easily name it. If you want to name it, you see the three dots on the edge there where I've written telling a story. There's a three dot there. You can click on it to make any change. You can also change the names for the tags easily by clicking on the three dots after the tag. So you see how you can use this software to categorize your code so that you can develop categories or themes. You just have to create new tag group and then drag and drop some of the code or tag into the new group that you have created. So you can see here that you can rename the tag group. So I'm now trying to rename the tag group. So sharing the main message. So the first one, I've grouped them into two, telling a story and also sharing the main message. You can group them into the number of classes that you want. Looking at the similarities between the codes, you'll be able to categorize them. And if you find it difficult to do it here in terms of categorization, you can easily export all the tags into Excel spreadsheet and then do the categorization. So you don't have to do it here if you are having difficulty categorizing them. Sometimes because the space is too small, you may not be able to see all the codes and then do the categorization. You can create a video board by clicking on the plus sign, a video board. You can bring the information that you already selected and you can create visual representation of what you found. It's just like presenting your findings but in the form of a video. You label the video board, that will be the element of a story. Then you can add a framework. It gives you some shapes that you can use to demonstrate. It's just a way of visual representation of your findings. So let's go back to the tag, right? You go to the tag and then you can drag and drop the tag that you want into the framework that you have created now. You drag and drop it where you want to drop it and click on it again, and then one tag selection and then click on break into highlight, and then it will show the video that's connected to the tag, right? So whenever you want to go back to the video board, you click on the plus sign and then you can click on the element of story, the one that you created, and you can easily go back. So you click on the tag again and then you can bring those tags there. So now I'm trying to arrange the significant information in such a way that it makes sense. So break into highlight. So this is where it shows what is in the container. So you bring the tag there and then click on it and click on it again so that it will show what is in the container. That is the information that you selected to be connected to the tag. So we started by selecting significant information, tagging it, and then we categorize the significant information. Now what we're doing is we want to present our findings, make a visual representation of our findings, and that's what we are doing now. You drag, click on it, click on that, and break into highlight. Now if you want to play in a specific sequence, you can do that. You can select all of them and then You click on that and click on play sequence. So when it's finished playing the first, it automatically go to the second one and start playing. So this is very good when you are presenting a finding or presenting a theme and then you want to share evidence that are connected to the theme. You can also play their voice. You see how powerful this one is going to be if you are sharing about the themes and using participant own voice and video to support the themes that you are presenting. So this is very good in presenting your findings.
And what are their needs?
Especially maybe you are doing a conference presentation or you are part of a user research team and you have to do a presentation about the experience of participant. This is the best way of presenting that information. So now you can add a text to it. You click on add text and then you can type, I'm trying to type the beginning of the story, right? Imagine you are presenting the findings and then you want to share about the structure of a story and then how you can incorporate a story in the information that you want to share. I've categorized the information here into three: beginning of the story, middle of the story, and the end of the story, right? And then under that we have evidence to support those categories that I have here or ideas that I've put here. You can also add notes, right? And notes for you to remember something or share with your audience. So I said it is important to make the main character relatable. The next one is always connect your story to the message. So these are things that you want your audience to understand when you are trying to present your findings. You can make it bigger, you can make it smaller by zooming in and zooming out. You can also add another framework to it. So you see that the first framework is more about the story. Maybe the second framework, what I can do, also talk about the elements of the message or the main idea that I want to present to my audience, right? I'm trying to bring the code that and sharing the main message. So as you can see here, I'm dragging and dropping them, right? So as you can see, this software is very good in terms of presenting your findings. It's very good when you want to let people hear the voices of participants and also see if you have videos. It's make your presentation powerful if you have this kind of information. Imagine that you are talking about the themes and then you can also play some of the voices of participants for people to understand what exactly the themes mean.
Research is
so as you
all
can see
about
here, you can
systematically
play
looking for information and analyzing
based on the
them to
sequence
help
how you
address
have
the
arranged it,
questions or problems
and
you have
then
identified. What is qualitative research? The
as
act
you
of finding out what the
talk
problem
about
is
or
and
share
figuring
the themes that you have. Sometimes it becomes challenging to drag, but I think you become used to it as you continue to use it. When I was using it first was challenging, but now I can easily move the videos around or the frameworks around. So you could also screenshot in case you want to save it and use it sometime for your presentation or your PowerPoint. You can screenshot, but when you do that you cannot play the videos. But if you want to play it, then having it in the software will be great. But you can also export these short videos to use it outside. So that's another option for you. You can export anything that you want to export. So you can see here that you can download any of the significant information. If you want to download the codes, you can click on the where is new tag group. You can click on that place and then you'll be able to download all the tags. You have the tag, you have the group, and the number of highlights. If you want to export, you see the arrow there. You select what you want to export. If you want to export the transcript, you just click on the transcript word, and if you want to export it as a subtitle, you can do that. If you want to export the old video, you can also do that. See how the transcript looks like. It shows the significant information you selected. You can see which one was significant. So I think this software will be helpful for you if you are doing a project that you want to transcribe, and if you also want to analyze, you can do it in the system and also present your finding in the visual manner in terms of showing the audio and the video. You'll be able to do that. Thank you so much for your time.